Hello. Good day. I am Breighana Brown, student number 06813771, and today I will be talking about the poisoning of Nibi, and it is a case study of clean drinking water in the First Nation communities in Ontario. I feel as a Canadian citizen, as an Ontarian, that I am part of this community, and therefore I am a stakeholder in this matter. So along with Canadians in general, Ontarians in general, there are many different stakeholders. These different stakeholders include, of course, the First Nation communities that are affected, as well as other communities and cottagers that may be in the area as well. These ones aren't affected as much, of course, but it is still important to understand that it might be affecting them as well, and in some cases it is. There we go. Other stakeholders include government agencies. So, for example, federal government and provincial government in Ontario. Companies include those that might be ones that play a part in the issues, such as the paper mill in Grassy Narrows, and companies that might be in the area and are also suffering from the issues with the water. Other stakeholders are scientists and historians that have a good knowledge on the issue or have the capability of understanding the issue from an SEK point of view, from a corn point of view. Nibi for the Anishinaabe people, Nibi ecosystems and terrestrial ecosystems. So this includes the land, the water, plants, and animals, not just humans, because they're all affected as well. The needs of the stakeholders vary a lot depending on who they are. So for example, First Nation communities, other communities in the area, ecosystems in land, air, and water need access to safe drinking water and safe water in general for everyday uses, as they have the right to be healthy and thriving and not having to worry about getting sick. The government has the duty to protect its people. It has the duty to do the right thing and fix the issues, but they also have to worry about costs and how things are going to be done and who is going to do these things. And there are many levels of the government that can prolong an issue. I think that's important to note. Things can't really happen overnight with the government. So others include the companies. If they play a hand in the issues, they need to be held accountable. They need to be included in remediation. They need to put forth some money, and they need to be helping fix the problems that they've helped cause. This goes, for example, the paper mill that caused the mercury poisoning in Grassy Narrows. And then other companies, they also deserve the right to clean water. You know, if it's a company producing food, we as consumers don't want them using dirty water, poisoned water. Scientists and historians hold most Western knowledge on the issues. Historians can hold Indigenous knowledge on it as well, depending on their education. They have the ability to understand and educate people on the problems at hand. They can perform tests and surveys and to better understand the issue, and they can give an educational point of view, and they can give ways of fixing the problems. Nibi And for the Anishinaabe, they believe that Nibi is its own being. They believe that it has a spirit, that it's a living, breathing thing, and it deserves rights. So that's the biggest kind of issue here, or a big issue is indigenous peoples, and especially Anishinaabe, they believe the Nibi is a being that deserves rights. Westerners believe more that Nibi is a resource to be used and consumed. But it has the right to be safe and healthy and thriving. It also has to worry about itself, and it cares for the biota in the land, in the air, and the water, and us humans as well. Nibi has been abused for years in Canada. As Westerners believe it is a resource, it hasn't been given the rights that living things are often given. All over Canada, many Indigenous communities are facing problems with their water and have had problems with the government in regards to trying to get these issues fixed. It depends as to why, it depends on who you talk to. Many believe there's racism involved, many believe it's economic issues, etc. But there's one report that is included in my references that says there's about 61 in Canada, or in Ontario, I'm sorry, that have boil water advisories right now. The video that you can view later on, they state about 50. So it's kind of hard to really narrow down. The most commonly heard of case, and I've mentioned it a few times already, is the case of Grassy Narrows. They have a really bad issue with mercury poisoning in the water due to a paper mill that had been upstream for many years. The issue had been going on for years. They have been dumping mercury in the water for a very, very long time at huge amounts. And because of this, the water itself and the biota in the water around the land, everything has been poisoned, and many, many people have suffered and even died because of this. And it's something that they did not know was happening for a very long time. People were just getting sick and they didn't understand why. The help from the government has been very minuscule, and the government has been very reluctant to put forth the resources and the funding for this issue. It should be noted that there is a facility that is being built, but it's taking a very, very long time. And they've only been given about half of the money that has been promised them, this community. So here, in order for a difference to be made, research needs to be conducted on Nibi. In Canada, surveys need to be done on communities in science and Indigenous knowledge, or SEK and IEK, represented by the corn and beans, need to find common ground for the squash to be able to grow and do its part by making a common ground and protect the vulnerable stakeholders. Education should also be made a priority. For example, when treatment centers are implemented, people in the First Nation communities should know how to work and fix the machines, so that if they break down again or something goes wrong, they're not left stranded and waiting for help to come again. Remediation, of course, of the watersheds and Nibi should be also made a priority by using SEK and IEK to help the land and all life to thrive again, whether it's human or not. The core that holds knowledge for these issues are scientists and government officials and historians. The beings that hold great knowledge surrounding Nibi include the elders of Indigenous communities, and for Anishinaabe communities, the Kwe should be greatly involved in remediation. efforts surrounding NIBI, as they are those responsible for the water and they are most connected to the water in that culture. By intersecting SEK and IEK, my hope is that issues can be seen and understood from various points of view, and the squash begins to thrive as the views that others may not have are heard and taken seriously. I hope as well that the two different knowledges can learn to work together, even if they don't agree on everything, and come up with the best results at hand and to help build a better common ground for the squash to grow. I have included a video here if you would like to watch. It's about 2 minutes. It just gives a kind of a idea of where I'm coming from and the steps that are currently being taken. It should be noted as well before I finish this that in the video they say in Ontario, there's about 50 cases of communities that don't have clean drinking water. And their goal was to have no communities with boil water advisories or anything like that by 2021. And right now, looking forward, it doesn't look like they're going to meet that goal. So this is an issue that should be taken seriously. This issue is an issue that people are actually dying from, and it's not political. For me, it's not a political issue, it's human rights. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation and taking the time out of your day. Miigwech.